In the heart of ancient China, in an age of kingdoms, conquest, and chaos, a legend was born. A young woman whose courage would echo through the centuries. Her name was Mulan, the magnolia blossom, a name that became a symbol of honor, sacrifice, and the eternal strength of women. The birth of a legend. Long before Disney brought her to life on screen, long before her story spread across the modern world, Mulan's legend was already being sung. Whispered in the homes and temples of northern China during the Northern Wei dynasty, 386 to 535 CE. The earliest known version, the poem of Mulan, dates to the 6th century CE, an age when Mongolian and Turkic influences blended with Chinese tradition, giving rise to stories of duty, identity, and sacrifice. It was not just a poem. It was a reflection of a world in flux, and of women who, in the north, held more independence than their southern sisters. In that poem, Mulan is not yet the national heroine we know today. She is a daughter, a dutiful soul who hears the emperor's call to war. Her father's name is written on the scroll of conscription, too old to fight. Her younger brother, too young. So Mulan does the unthinkable. She takes her father's place. The warrior's path. She buys her armor, a horse, and weapons. She binds her hair and leaves home under cover of dawn. For 12 long years, she fights on the frontier, through snow, through fire, through glory and grief. Her courage earns her rank, her name, but no one suspects her secret. When peace finally returns, the Khan offers her high office, but Mulan refuses. She desires only to return home. Only then does she change back into her true self, and her comrades, shocked, cry out, "We marched together for 12 long years, and never once did we know Mulan was a girl." The poem ends with a quiet truth, as eternal as it is profound. When hares run side by side, who can tell male from female? A reminder that courage knows no gender, and that identity is not defined by tradition. The Song of Mulan, the Confucian. Heroine. Centuries later, during the Tang dynasty, 618 to 907 CE, Mulan's story transformed again, becoming the Song of Mulan. In this version, her duty to her father became the highest expression of filial piety, one of the most sacred Confucian virtues. To save one's father was to honor the family. To honor the family was to serve the nation. Here, Mulan's story becomes more than heroism. It becomes a moral ideal, fusing personal sacrifice with loyalty to the emperor. Her sword was guided not only by courage, but by virtue. The female Mulan, the warrior and the woman. During the Ming dynasty, playwright Xu Wei, 1521 to 1593 CE, revived the legend with the female Mulan, a theatrical triumph that gave Mulan her surname, Hua, flower, and her male identity, Hua Hu. In Xu Wei's play, she unbinds her feet, a striking image of rebellion against gender constraints, and joins the army to fight a bandit warlord named Leopard Skin. Her bravery earns her rank, and when she returns home, she reveals her true identity. But unlike the stoic warrior of earlier tales, this Mulan finds joy, love, and is married to a noble suitor. This was the Mulan the Ming audience wanted, a hero who could fight, win, and still find happiness. The darker tales of the Qing dynasty. As dynasties rose and fell, so did the meanings of Mulan's story. During the Qing dynasty, 1644 to 1912 CE, her tale took darker turns. In the historical romance of the Sui and Tang by Chu Renhuo, Mulan was born to a Turkish father and Chinese mother, a child of two worlds. When her father was drafted into war, she took his place. Captured by the warrior Do Xianyang, Mulan became her ally and survived the battlefield. But when the Khan later demanded that Mulan join his harem, she chose death over dishonor, ending her own life rather than live in shame. This tragic ending reflected the values of the time, the struggle between duty, honor, and female virtue under oppressive rule. The Magical Warrior, Tales of Power. By 1800 CE, new storytellers added mysticism to her legend. In the complete account of extraordinary Mulan, she is taught the dark arts by her grandfather and becomes a master of martial and spiritual power. She rides a magical camel, ascends mountains, and communicates with monks who reveal her destiny. When Emperor Taizong rewards her as a hero, she refuses his command to serve. And when he demands her return, she takes her own life to preserve her honor. Now, Mulan had become something more than human, a mythic guardian of virtue, loyalty, and identity. The dawn of a new Mulan. In 1903, Mulan's story entered the modern age. The opera Mulan joins the army reimagined her as a feminist icon, a woman who fights not just to save her father, but to shame cowardly men and prove that women are just as brave. This Mulan fought not only for family or emperor, but for womanhood itself. The spirit of Mulan inspired real women, too. Revolutionary poet Qiu Jin, 1875 to 1907 CE, who sought to overthrow the corrupt Qing dynasty, called Mulan her spiritual guide. Qiu Jin was executed for her rebellion, but her courage ignited a new fire in China's women, a flame that still burns today. Mulan on screen. In 1939, China brought Mulan to life on film. Mulan joins the army. She was no longer just a daughter or soldier. She was the embodiment of the nation, a patriot, a symbol of China's unity and defiance against invaders. Decades later, in 1998, Mulan's legend transcended borders. Disney's animated film introduced her to the world, adding humor, heart, and fantasy, but preserving the story's essence, a young woman defying tradition to honor her family and her country. The talking dragon and cricket may have been modern additions, but the message remained timeless, that courage and honor are not bound by gender. Then came Mulan, 2020, a reimagining for a new generation. Blending the poetry of the original ballad with the grandeur of myth, it restored Mulan's spirit as a warrior guided by ki, strength, and grace. It also revived echoes of the past, the hares running side by side, the loyal warrior women, and the eternal question, what makes a hero? Legacy, the spirit of Mulan. Today, Mulan's story continues to inspire, not just as a tale of war and duty, but as a living symbol of courage. Her name endures in Mulan Quan, a martial art blending Tai Chi, Kung Fu, and dance, designed to awaken inner strength, discipline, and grace. Across China and beyond, women still draw from her legend, the courage to stand tall, to fight for what is right, and to honor those they love. From the poem sung by an unknown poet 1,500 years ago, to the bright screens of the 21st century, Mulan remains what she has always been, a warrior, a daughter, a legend. And like the magnolia that blooms even in the harshest winter, her story will never die.